Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Battle Spot battle video. Today I have two battles for you because these are fairly short. I mean, they're not super short, but it's a good amount, and these are great battles. Let me know if you're preferring the post commentary, like where I show you the video of the battle in really high quality and narrate it after the fact, or let me know if you'd like me to go back to doing the live ones where I'm recording while I'm playing. Both of those are fun. I enjoy both of those. They both have different kind of styles. Again, if I do it this way, I get to show you the really beautiful quality with no outlines, and the games look really nice. But in the other way, you get to kind of see my live reaction to the battle. So let me know. We'll go ahead and start the battle right now. Hopefully you'll enjoy. Please leave a like if you do enjoy, and subscribe for more Pokemon Sun and Moon battles. Okay, so I do actually lead with my Blaziken. Now, as you might notice, I'm using Pokebank Pokemon. I haven't mentioned that yet. But of course, Pokebank has come out, and I'm very excited because I get to try a lot of new things in Battle Spot now. These two Pokemon that you're going to see right now that are going to be facing off are going to be two of the most powerful and most common Pokemon in Sun and Moon Battle Spot because they were two of the best in 6th Gen. Now, Blaziken is just an excellent Pokemon. Because it has speed boost, it has really good coverage with fire and fighting, and it has good coverage options, so it's just so powerful. I'm running Adamant with Life Orb and speed boost. Unfortunately, Mega Blaziken is not available yet. That would be insane if it was, but he's going to get the Intimidate off on me, and I'm just going to switch out right away because Blaziken actually has a very difficult time dealing with Landorus. I'm going to go right into my Zapdos because I figured if he does go for Earthquake, if he or she does go for Earthquake, I can eat it. I mean, I don't take any damage from that. And I do also have Hidden Power Ice to threaten the Landorus, and that's going to be a great way for me to obviously put a lot of damage on it. This Zapdos is really interesting. It's really bulky. It has a lot of defense investment. And then I have Roost with 3 attacks. Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, and Heat Wave for really good coverage, but it doesn't hit that hard, so I'm thinking of trying out Timid Zapdos. I'm sorry, I don't have Discharge, I actually have Thunderbolt, but I went for the Heat Wave on Landorus, kind of expecting my opponent to maybe switch out there. I think that's what I did. I think that's why I did that. I'm not so sure, but that doesn't do too much to Tapu Lele. I mean, it is not stab, and plus I don't have special attack investment. Zapdos' special attack is pretty solid, but since I'm running max HP, max defense, that's not going to do that much damage. And then right here, I'm going to be able to go for the Discharge just to get a little bit more damage on the Tapu Lele. I'll be honest, I was hoping for a Paralysis here because Discharge has a 30% chance to paralyze. Unfortunately, I do not get it. If I had gotten the Paralysis, that would have helped me out so much because Tapu Lele is pretty threatening, as you can see. It's actually insanely threatening against my team because it hits super effective on Blaziken and my Nihilego, which I also have. And of course, now that Zapdos is dead, that's maybe one of my best hopes for it. So I'm like, okay, I have Focus Sash on this Nihilego, so it's not over just yet. I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave, which will kill Tapu Lele. And my opponent does stay in. I'm assuming they didn't expect me to have Focus Sash, which is why they just went for the Psychic. If they had known I had Focus Sash, they might have done things a little bit differently. But of course, that Psychic is going to take me down all the way, and I'm going to be able to finish off this Choice Scarf Tapu Lele with a Stab super effective Sludge Wave. That's going to do a lot of damage. That is going to finish them off, and I'm like, maybe, because I am a timid nature, maybe there's hope if my Nihilego can get the Speed Boost from Beast Boost. But then I remembered that Nihilego actually has higher special attack, so even though I'm a timid nature, I still have a higher special attack than Speed, which means that I'm going to get the special attack boost here. And that's good, but at the same time, it could lose me the game. If Nihilego's faster than the rest of my opponent's team, then I can actually win this. So we're going to see what happens here. As my opponent does go into the Landorus again, obviously if this Landorus is faster than I am, they're gonna win the game basically. I thought they might be Choice Scarf. I normally run Choice Scarf Landorus, but I didn't see the item on this one, so I don't know whether they're Choice Scarf or leftovers. I actually end up outspeeding, and I do have the Hidden Power Ice. So this Nihilego is really crazy because it has really everything to deal with all of my opponent's Pokemon, and that's just beautiful because I'm going to be able to knock it out. And I mean, I'm at +1 special attack with a 4x super effective move coming off of Landorus's lower than average special defense stat. It's still a pretty decent special defense stat, but it's nowhere near as good as its defense. And my opponent's last Pokemon is Charizard, which was actually wonderful for me. Blaziken does have a tough time against Charizard. However, +2 Nihilego with a super effective Stab Power Gem is going to be enough to kill this. Even though it's Charizard X, they're still going to take 2 times super effective damage from the Power Gem. Power Gem is not like a super strong move. We do still need a stronger special rock type move, but right now all we have is Power Gem. Again, given that I'm at +2 special attack, it is going to be enough to easily destroy this Charizard before they're able to do anything else. So that was a really excellent game. Really close because I was able to kind of swing things in my favor pretty easily. Well, maybe not easily, but once Nihilego got the kill, I was able to, you know, get a little lucky and end up sweeping their team. So that was an awesome game. Let's take a look at the next one now. Alright, so the next battle, you'll look at my team. I have Blaziken again, I have Choice Scarf Landorus-Therian, and I have Choice Specs Tapu Koko. I felt like it was a good matchup against my opponent's team. This is one of my favorite battles here because the way that I execute the lines of play, I'm actually a little bit proud of. So I led with my Landorus. I felt like it had a good matchup against a good portion of my opponent's team. Unfortunately, they lead with Celesteela. Landorus obviously really can't touch Celesteela. It can't Earthquake it. And I do have Knockoff, which is useful, but at the same time, it's like Knockoff isn't going to be doing that much damage. So I really have to make a decision here, whether to U-turn out of there or go for Knockoff. Again, I'm Choice Scarfed, which means I'm going to be locked into a move. I decided to go for the U-turn just to bring in a Pokemon that can have an easier time against Celesteela. Luckily for me, both of my other Pokemon in the back do have that easier time against it, but I do find out here that they are Rocky Helmet Celesteela. This is one of those battles where you're playing against a Celesteela and you just really, really hate it. Celesteela is insane. It's just so stupid. I mean, I don't think it's broken, but it's just so annoying. It's like the new Blissey, the new Skarmory, the new Ferrothorn. It's just insane. I mean, it's so bulky. It's got the perfect defensive typing. It's got Leech Seed, which is annoying. It's just dumb. But I'm not going to complain too much. They go for the Leech Seed on my Blaziken, predicting a switch very nicely there. Unfortunately, I actually wanted to make sure that my Blaziken doesn't take too much damage, especially because I don't know the remainder of their team composition. So I really wanted to make sure, I kind of just scouted here. And now that I've seen Leech Seed, I know that I can go out into something else, or I'm gonna go out, because I expected a Protect here. I expected them to go for Protect to kind of rack up some more Leech Seed damage, get some more health back, which is of course very annoying. I mean, I don't condone that type of battling, but again, what are you gonna do? They're actually gonna make a good play here. Go for the withdraw. They're gonna switch out into Lantern. I think predicting me to stay in and go for the Flare Blitz. I'm just playing really safely here, very safely. I recognize that Blaziken is really powerful, and I did go for the Dazzling Gleam, excuse me, predicting a switch there. So that was a good play on my part. I didn't want to go for the Volt Switch or the Thunderbolt because I thought that if they have Lantern on their team, which they do, or rather if they brought Lantern here, they would just eat it up. They would not take any damage from it, and I would be in a very bad position. I do believe that they're probably specially defensive, though, because I am Choice Specs Modest Tapu Koko going for the Stab Dazzling Gleam, and it doesn't do all that much. I mean, Lantern's really naturally bulky, and you know, Tapu Koko's non-electric type moves don't really hit all that hard. But again, I'm Modest, I'm Choice Specs. They got off the Toxic there, which is kind of annoying because it's gonna wear down my Tapu Koko very quickly, and because my opponent has more of a stall-oriented team, that is going to be obviously very annoying for me. So here I go into Landorus, thinking if they go for Scald, I'm in trouble. That would be the absolute worst case scenario, but if they don't go for Scald, maybe if they switch out or try to Protect or something, then I could be in a decent spot. They do actually reveal Protect there, so that was a really bold play on my part. In the beginning of this battle, I started out kind of playing a little more safe, but now I'm kind of getting a little more bold in recognizing that my opponent's team is like kind of stall oriented, kind of bulky. They have Protect, they have Leech Seed, they have Toxic, and that's annoying. So I just go for the knockoff here. It does a lot of damage, and I knock off their leftovers, which is good for me because Lantern doesn't have any other forms of recovery aside from leftovers. So that's going to be a great use for my Landorus there. They actually unfortunately missed the Toxic, which is going to matter obviously because my Landorus is going to be staying alive for a little bit longer, you know, staying alive. I'm not going to keep going there, but I go for the knockoff against Celesteela, recognizing that I have two physical attackers. I don't want that thing holding the Rocky Helmet anymore, so I want it off. I'm just going to smack it off, and I'm going to take a little bit more damage, obviously. Electricity is going to disappear. That's not that bad because I can just bring in Tapu Koko when I want it again, but I recognize here, Landorus can easily destroy Lantern. but has a really difficult time against Celesteela. On the other hand, Tapu Koko can destroy Celesteela, but it has a really difficult time against Lanturn. Well, at this point, since I've weakened it, I guess Dazzling Gleam is not going to be, or is going to be able to kill Lanturn. However, the fact that my Landorus and my Tapu Koko are both choiced, meaning they have to stay locked into a move, is going to be so much more difficult for me to win because I have to make predictions here. I have to say, do I expect them to, if I'm Lando versus Lanturn, do I expect them to stay in and go for the Earthquake? Do I expect them to go into Celesteela? Plus, to top it all off, they have Protect on their Pokemon, which allows them an easier time scouting what I'm going to do. So it's just not working out really well for me. Here, this next part is a series of really annoying kind of lines of play. And I'm probably going to speed this part up here, because what happens is they're Leech Seeding me. I'm switching out so I don't take too many turns of Leech Seed, and plus I don't want them to keep getting Leech Seed recovery and keep sapping my health every turn, especially Leech Seed plus Poison. So these next few turns are just going to be me kind of switching around a lot. So I take some Leech Seed damage, I'm going to take some Poison damage, and I just realized I need to get out of here as soon as possible, otherwise my Tapu Koko is going to die very quickly. This Celesteela is going to be able to easily stall me out by hitting Protect, getting some Leech Seed recovery, and I'm just in a really bad position because once they know that I'm going to go for the electric type move like Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, they can just easily go into Lanturn and recover all the damage that I dealt to them. And it's important that Lanturn stays weakened, because again, if I'm able to kill Lanturn or Celesteela and I have all my Pokemon alive, it's so much easier for me to win, because again, if Lanturn's dead, then Tapu Koko can just spam Thunderbolt. If Celesteela's dead, then Landorus can just spam Earthquake. So removing either of these two threats is going to really help me win. Right there, I went for the Rock Slide. It does an okay amount of damage, and I get the flinch, which is excellent for me. Obviously, that's some annoying hacks, but it helped me out in a big way. Here, I'm going to go for Rock Slide again. I get off some more decent damage. This time, I do not flinch, though, and they go for the Leech Seed again, as they've been doing. So they get off the Leech Seed, and I actually decide to stay in this turn just because I've been switching out a lot. I feel like they're going to predict that at this point. So I'm just going to go for the Rock Slide again a third time. It is annoying, but here's the thing. Here's what I'm trying to set up at this point. I need to get Blaziken in... I need to get Blaziken in safely. If I'm able to get Blaziken in without taking any extra damage, I do have a chance. Blaziken is my wild card, because if you think about it, Blaziken can kill Celesteela with Flare Blitz, and it can deal a lot of damage to Lanturn with High Jump Kick. So Blaziken alone is my prime way of winning this game, and that's why I'm switching around a lot and not switching into Blaziken, because I really need it to close out the game. And I need to execute my lines of play so that I'm slowly, gradually weakening Celesteela and and Lanturn, and then Blaziken can come in. Right there, I'm actually happy because my Landorus dies. And that means I'm able to get my Blaziken in safely, which is just perfect. At this point, no reason not to just go for the Flare Blitz. If they Protect, they don't get any recovery. I can just do it again the following turn. So they're going to go into Porygon 2, which is revealed to be their third team member. They're going to trace the Speed Boost, which is important here because I can't switch out of Blaziken now, because then Porygon 2 will be faster. So anyways, going to go for the Flare Blitz there, and it's going to do a decent amount. Obviously, Porygon 2 is insanely bulky. Right here, I was a little scared that High Jump Kick wouldn't kill, but Flare Blitz did almost half, and High Jump Kick is a little bit more powerful than Flare Blitz, and it's super effective, and it's Stab. So there's a very good chance that High Jump Kick actually just finishes this Porygon 2. My opponent recognizes that. They're going to go into Celesteela here. Seems like a strange play. Maybe they were banking on High Jump Kick just missing or something like that, which would have been terrible for me, but it doesn't miss. I'm able to kill the Celesteela with a High Jump Kick, very powerful High Jump Kick. And at this point, I know that there's a very good chance that Blaziken just finishes the game for me, which is excellent because, like I said, if I get rid of one of Celesteela or Lanturn, I can just plow through the rest of their team with the rest of my Pokemon. Landorus is gone now, which is a little awkward because it can't just spam Earthquake, but it's fine. I figured at this point I don't want to play too risky because I know they have Protect, so I didn't want to go for the High Jump Kick. I went for the Flare Blitz, hoping it would kill them, and because I'm adamant, because it's a stab move, and because Lanturn took extra damage, earlier in the game, that is going to allow me to knock out the Lantern. And I identified that it might have been more specially defensive early on with Tapu Koko, so all those reasons led me to going for the Flare Blitz there instead of the high jump kick. Had I gone for a high jump kick and they'd protected, I could have lost the game. So that ended up being a really nice safe play on my part, and it ended up paying me back. Here I was like thinking, should I just go for the Flare Blitz because high jump kick could miss? But I just went for the high jump kick and it just killed it. So that was a great game. I was really proud of that one because it's annoying to see Celesteela and Lantern cores, anything, really Celesteela and anything that's immune to electricity. Those cores are just so hard to get through. But if you can play around them and really kind of set up a game plan to pave your way to victory, it does help a lot, obviously. And once you recognize how to beat it, you can try to set that up and win that way. Anyways, I did win that way, so I'm really lucky. Please let me know if you enjoyed this battle or these battles. Let me know if you're enjoying this type of battle spot content or if you'd rather me go back to the live kind of narrations. I do have a few other battles. I have several other battle spot battles lined up that I can record as well. I also have a couple other battles with Dieter that we did with our in-game teams. We finally have some complete teams to get off some battles, so we're excited for that. I battled him a couple times, and then we might do some more of those. So let me know what you're thinking. Please leave a comment letting me know what your favorite new Pokemon to use from Pokebank is. I'm super excited about Pokebank. I'll see you next time. I hope you have a great day.